The silence of deep space shattered as emergency alarms blared through the grand chamber of the Galactic Council. The massive crystalline dome, usually filled with diplomatic murmurs and political debates, now echoed with panicked voices of 1,000 alien species. Representative Chen of Earth stood calmly at the center, a slight smile playing on her lips as chaos unfolded around her. "You cannot be serious," bellowed High Counselor Zaxthor, his translucent tentacles flaring with bioluminescent rage. "This is beyond unprecedented. The human defense fleet must stand down immediately." His four eyes narrowed at Chen, who maintained her composure despite being surrounded by increasingly hostile alien delegates. "I'm afraid that won't be possible, Counselor," Chen replied, her voice carrying clearly across the chamber. "You should have thought about the consequences before authorizing the containment of Earth." She pulled up a holographic display showing the burning wreckage of harvester ships scattered across Earth's orbit. "We warned you when you first arrived. We told you Earth wasn't defenseless, but you dismissed us as just another primitive species." The memory of that day still burned fresh in everyone's minds. 6 months ago, the Galactic Council had declared Earth a potential threat to galactic stability after discovering humanity's rapid technological advancement. Their solution? Send in the harvesters, planet-stripping vessels designed to reduce civilizations to pre-industrial levels for the greater good of the galaxy. What they hadn't expected was Earth's response. Decades of preparing for alien invasions, countless science fiction stories, and humanity's inherent paranoia had paid off in ways no one could have predicted. The harvester fleet, expecting an easy victory, had instead met a wall of experimental weapons, AI-driven defense systems, and warriors who had spent generations imagining this very scenario. "You're outnumbered 10,000 to 1, hissed Representative Clix of the Silicon Concordat, their crystalline form vibrating with anxiety. "The combined might of the Galactic Council has never faced anything like us," Chen interrupted. She gestured to another hologram, showing Earth's orbital defense network awakening. Thousands of satellites transformed into weapon platforms, while hidden lunar bases revealed massive ion cannons. Humanity spent centuries dreaming up ways to fight aliens. Did you really think we wouldn't be ready? The chamber fell silent as the implications sank in. Humanity hadn't just defeated the Harvester fleet. They had reversed engineered its technology in real time, adapting and improving upon designs that had taken other species millennia to develop. And now, Earth's ships were pushing outward, not to conquer, but to ensure they would never be threatened again. "This is your last chance," Chen announced, her voice carrying the weight of Earth's unified nations behind it. "Recognize Earth's sovereignty and right to self-defense, or find out exactly how creative humans can be when pushed into a corner. We don't want war, but we've spent more time thinking about how to win one than any species in this room." The hologram shifted one final time, revealing Earth's latest creation, a massive vessel unlike anything the Council had seen before. It combined technologies from a dozen alien species with human innovations no one had thought possible. The ship's name floated above it in multiple languages, humanity's reply. As panic spread through the chamber, Chen took her seat and waited. The ball was in their court now. Humanity had risen from a primitive species to a force that could challenge the entire Galactic Council in less than a year. And this was just the beginning. The question wasn't whether humanity would change the galaxy. It was how much the galaxy would resist that change. And somewhere on Earth, shipyards were working overtime, preparing for either outcome. The council chambers erupted into frenzied discussions as species that had been enemies for millennia now huddled together, casting nervous glances at the human representative. Ken's datapad quietly buzzed with an incoming message from Earth Command. Fleet deployment complete. Awaiting further instructions. High Counselor Zaxthor's tentacles had lost their angry glow, replaced by a more muted, anxious pulsing. He leaned toward his closest advisors, their whispered conversations barely audible even in the vast chamber. The recent memory of Earth's devastating counterattack had shaken the Council's millennium-old confidence to its core. "Perhaps," began Ambassador Vire of the Crystalline Collective, her faceted body refracting light across the chamber, "we should consider the humans' position." After all, their response was to our aggression. The statement drew horrified gasps from several conservative council members, but others nodded in agreement. Chen allowed herself a small moment of satisfaction. The divide and conquer approach was working exactly as Earth's strategists had predicted. Centuries of science fiction had taught humanity one crucial lesson. Alien civilizations, no matter how advanced, were just as capable of fear, pride, and political maneuvering as humans. A holographic replay of the battle caught everyone's attention. The harvester ships, massive city-sized vessels designed to strip planets of technology, approached Earth with the confidence of countless successful operations behind them. Then came humanity's response. Thousands of small, agile craft swarming from hidden bases on Mars and the Moon. What appeared to be primitive nuclear missiles suddenly revealed themselves as advanced EMP devices specifically designed to bypass alien shielding technology. "The humans didn't just defeat our ships," muttered a technocrat observer, their cybernetic eyes whirring as they analyzed the footage. "They studied them, adapted to them, and improved upon them in the middle of combat. It's unprecedented." The images shifted to show Earth's orbital defense network. What the Council had dismissed as primitive communications satellites transformed into a web of interconnected weapon platforms. The lunar surface cracked open to reveal massive ion cannons, while asteroids that had been thought to be natural bodies unveiled themselves as camouflaged military installations. "We've reviewed the data," announced Representative Clicks, their crystalline form now dimmed with concern. "Human entertainment media, what they call movies and games, have been preparing them for this moment for over a century. They've imagined and reimagined every possible scenario of alien contact. Their warriors trained against enemies that didn't exist yet. Their scientists developed countermeasures for technologies they hadn't encountered." Chen stood again, commanding the attention of the chamber. "For thousands of years, you encountered species that followed a predictable pattern of technological development. We didn't. Every human child grows up asking, 'What if aliens attack?' We built our civilization expecting this day would come." The massive ship displayed in the hologram, humanity's reply, slowly rotated above the chamber. Its design incorporated elements from dozens of alien civilizations, but reimagined in ways that made even the most advanced Council engineers pause. Where alien ships were elegant and specialized, this vessel was adaptable and redundant, built to survive and evolve mid-battle if necessary. "The choice before you is simple," Chen continued, her voice steady. "Accept Earth as an equal, or face the consequences of underestimating humanity again. We're not interested in conquest or domination, but we will not be contained, controlled, or protected from ourselves." As if to emphasize her point, new data streamed into the chamber, more ships emerging from Earth's shipyards, each incorporating lessons learned from the previous battle. Humanity wasn't just ready for war, they were rapidly becoming better at it than civilizations with millennia of experience. The Council's response would shape the future of galactic civilization, and Earth was prepared for any answer they might give. The Council's deliberation was interrupted by an urgent signal from the outer defense ring. Massive energy signatures were detected. The rest of Earth's fleet had arrived. The holographic display filled with hundreds of ships, each one a unique blend of human ingenuity and reverse-engineered alien technology. They took formation around the Council station in a perfect defensive sphere, a clear demonstration of both power and restraint. High Counselor Zaxthor's tentacles coiled tightly around his ceremonial staff. "You've hidden your true capabilities from us," he accused, but the fear in his voice betrayed his attempted show of authority. "Those ships, they're not just defensive platforms." "No," Chen confirmed, activating a new holographic display. "This is what happens when you force a species that has spent centuries imagining alien invasions to actually face one." The display showed Earth's cities, but not as the Council expected. Massive shield generators, disguised as skyscrapers, powered up. Underground bunkers that could house millions revealed themselves. Every human settlement, from the largest metropolis to the smallest village, had been built with planetary defense in mind. Representative Clix's crystalline form trembled as they analyzed the data. Their entire civilization, It's a fortress hiding in plain sight. Even their primitive-seeming technology was deliberately designed to appear less advanced than it truly was. This revelation sent new waves of panic through the chamber. The humans hadn't just prepared for invasion, they had orchestrated every detail of first contact to their advantage. "Did you really think," Chen asked, her voice carrying across the now silent chamber, "that a species that survived multiple ice ages, built civilizations across every climate, and reached the stars despite countless setbacks, would simply roll over and accept subjugation?" She gestured to the fleet outside. "Every ship out there represents a different human nation, culture, and way of thinking. Unity in diversity, that's humanity's real strength." The holographic display shifted again, showing Earth's surface. What the Council had dismissed as primitive nuclear power plants were actually advanced fusion reactors, disguised to appear less threatening. Agricultural centers concealed missile silos. Even the planet's satellite network, thought to be purely civilian, was revealed as an interconnected web of defense and observation platforms. "Impossible," whispered a technocrat observer. "The energy readings, they've achieved controlled quantum fusion. They're not centuries behind us. In some areas, they're decades ahead." Ken's datapad buzzed again. Earth Command's message was brief. "Phase 2 ready. Awaiting your signal." She took a deep breath, knowing her next words would either prevent or trigger a galactic war. The entire chamber seemed to hold its breath, countless alien species united in their anticipation of humanity's next move. "We're activating our final defensive measure," Chen announced, her finger hovering over her datapad. Around the Council station, Earth's ships began powering up systems that defied alien understanding. The station's sensors struggled to comprehend the energy signatures they were detecting. High Counselor Zaxthor rose from his seat, all four eyes fixed on the human representative. "What are you doing?" he demanded, but his voice had lost all its previous authority. "Showing you why Earth survived every extinction-level event nature threw at it," Chen replied. "Showing you why humanity never stopped preparing for this moment, even when you thought we were just another primitive species to be uplifted or contained." The tension in the chamber reached its breaking point as Earth's ships moved into their final positions. The fate of galactic civilization hung in the balance, and for the first time in recorded history, it wasn't the Council holding the cards. Whatever happened next would reshape the galaxy forever, and everyone in that chamber knew it. Ken's finger remained poised above her datapad, ready to initiate humanity's most ambitious plan yet. Just as Chen's finger was about to make contact with her datapad, a new energy signature erupted at the edge of the system. The Council chamber's displays flickered, and for a moment, even Earth's mighty fleet seemed to pause in confusion. Through the crystalline dome, a massive tear in space-time ripped open, its edges crackling with impossible energies. "What is this?" High Counselor Zaxthor demanded, but Chen's expression of genuine surprise told everyone this wasn't part of Earth's plan. Through the rift emerged a vessel that dwarfed even the largest ships present. Its design was neither human nor known to the Council, yet something about it seemed hauntingly familiar. "Impossible," breathed Representative Clix, their crystalline form dimming in what appeared to be recognition. "The precursors. They were supposed to be extinct." The name sent waves of murmurs through the chamber. Every spacefaring race knew of the precursors, the mysterious civilization that had vanished eons ago, leaving behind only fragments of their advanced technology scattered across the galaxy. Ken's datapad erupted with urgent messages from Earth Command. The human fleet was detecting energy signatures that matched perfectly with ancient cave paintings found on Earth. Artifacts that humanity had dismissed as primitive art until this very moment. Those weren't just cave paintings, Chen realized aloud. They were warnings. The massive precursor vessel broadcast a message that somehow translated itself into every known language simultaneously. "Children of the stars," it began, its tone neither friendly nor hostile. "Your quarrel has awakened us from our long observation." The voice seemed to echo not just through the chamber's speakers, but directly in everyone's minds. "A test," the voice continued. "All of this was a test. The Council's aggression, humanity's response. We have watched every moment. The revelation hit the chamber like a physical force. The harvesters, Earth's defenses, the entire confrontation. Had it all been orchestrated? Chen's diplomatic training struggled against her human instinct to react with anger. You endangered our entire planet, she stated, her voice steady despite the revelation. Billions of lives were at risk. The human fleet maintained its formation, but now their weapons tracked the precursor vessel instead of the Council station. As they have been since your species first walked upright, the voice replied. We gave you your dreams of the stars. We shaped your stories of invasion. Every nightmare that drove your innovation, every story that prepared you for this moment, all were echoes of our guidance. The Council chamber erupted in chaos as species realized the implications. The precursors hadn't just been watching. They had been actively guiding the development of civilization itself. But why? And why reveal themselves now? The real test, the voice announced, begins now. The precursor ship's energy readings suddenly spiked, and a new hologram appeared in the chamber's center. It showed something that made even the most composed council members gasp in horror. Something that made Earth's carefully laid plans and the Council's mighty civilization seem insignificant in comparison. The threat that drove us into hiding approaches, the voice declared. We needed to know if this cycle's civilizations could unite in the face of extinction. Humanity's defiance of the Council was expected. Your response to this revelation will determine if your civilizations are ready to face what comes next. Chen's datapad displayed a final message from Earth Command. Unknown entities detected at the edge of solar system. Numbers increasing exponentially. She looked up at the precursor ship's hologram, understanding dawning in her eyes. The conflict between Earth and the Council suddenly seemed like a children's squabble compared to what the hologram revealed. The true enemy was approaching, and neither humanity's preparation nor the Council's power alone would be enough to face it. The hologram expanded, filling the entire Council chamber with images of darkness moving between the stars. Not ships, not creatures, but something that defied comprehension, living shadows that devoured light itself. The Void Swarm, as the precursor's data named them, had already consumed 3 galaxies in their relentless expansion. Well, Chen said, breaking the terrified silence, humanity has experienced being underestimated. She turned to High Counselor Zaxthor, extending her hand in a gesture that needed no translation. It seems we have a common enemy that makes our previous disagreements look rather small. The Council leader's tentacles shifted through several colors before settling on a deep, determined blue. He reached out and grasped Chen's hand. The combined knowledge of the Council, humanity's adaptability, and the precursor's technology, he declared. Perhaps we have a chance after all. The precursor ship's voice resonated again. The first wave approaches. Show us if our faith in your potential was justified. The massive vessel moved into position alongside Earth's fleet, its ancient technology interfacing seamlessly with human systems, as if it had been designed to do exactly that all along. Ken's datapad lit up with a cascade of messages. Earth's hidden weapons, designed to fight the Council, were being rapidly reprogrammed. The quantum fusion reactors powered up to full capacity, and the planetary defense network began adapting to new tactical parameters provided by both Council and precursor data. Those defense satellites you thought were primitive, Chen announced, allowing herself a small smile. Watch this. At her command, Earth's orbital network activated its true form. Thousands of satellites linked together, forming a massive energy web that encompassed the entire solar system. Council engineers watched in amazement as human technology they dismissed as crude merged with their advanced systems to create something entirely new. The Void Swarm struck without warning. The first wave hit the outer defense line like a tsunami of darkness. But this time, humanity wasn't fighting alone. Council ships moved in perfect formation with Earth's fleet, their different combat styles complementing each other in ways neither side had imagined possible. The precursor vessel provided coverage, its ancient weapons tearing holes in the fabric of space itself to trap and destroy the shadow entities. See? Chen called out as human ships executed maneuvers that should have been impossible, adapting Council technology mid-battle just as they had during the Harvester attack. This is why we never stopped preparing. We just needed the right enemy. But the Void Swarm was relentless. For every shadow they destroyed, 2 more appeared. The combined fleet was being pushed back, even their enhanced weapons struggling against an enemy that seemed to learn and adapt as quickly as humanity did. Then Chen noticed something in the battle data. A pattern. They're not just adapting, she realized. They're playing our own strategies back at us. Almost like her eyes widened as the final piece clicked into place. She spun to face the precursor hologram. They're you, aren't they? A version of you from another galaxy. The reason you've been preparing us, guiding us, you're trying to prevent your own future. The precursor voice was silent for a long moment. Clever child. It finally responded. Now you understand why we chose humanity as the catalyst. You are what we once were, before we forgot how to dream, how to create, how to change. Ken's hand moved to her data pad one final time. Then let's show you what humanity does best. The impossible. She activated Earth's last resort protocol, a plan so audacious it had been hidden even from the Council. Every human ship activated a special program, one that had been developed by analyzing the Harvester's remains, not to fight them, but to communicate with them. The combined human Council fleet began broadcasting a signal that rippled through space-time itself. The Void Swarm hesitated, their endless advance faltering for the first time. The signal carried neither weapons nor defenses, but something the Shadows had forgotten millennia ago: imagination, creativity, the ability to envision a future different from the past. As the signal washed over the Void Swarm, the Shadows began to change, not dying, but transforming, remembering what they had once been. The precursor ship's voice echoed one final time. And so the students become the teachers. Perhaps there is hope for us all. High Counselor Zaxthor turned to Chen, all 4 eyes blinking in amazement. When you said humans had spent centuries preparing for every possible scenario. We never imagined this exact situation, Chen admitted with a smile. But we did imagine something even better. A future where different species could work together to overcome any challenge. Now, shall we begin rebuilding the galaxy? I believe humanity has some interesting ideas to contribute to the Council. In the weeks that followed, the Council chamber transformed from a place of political maneuvering to the heart of galactic reconstruction. The massive crystalline dome, once a symbol of the Council's unquestioned authority, now reflected the combined lights of human, Council, and transformed precursor ships working together to rebuild what the battle had damaged. Chen sat at her new permanent seat on the High Council, watching as representatives from across the galaxy debated humanity's latest proposal, the Stellar Exchange Program. The idea was simple. Every civilization would share their unique perspectives and technologies, not as a matter of political necessity, but as a celebration of diversity. Already, human entertainment and stories were spreading through Council space, inspiring younger species to imagine new possibilities. You know, High Counselor Zaxthor remarked, his tentacles now comfortable displaying the warm colors of friendship. When your ships first appeared in our space, I feared we were witnessing the end of civilization as we knew it. He paused, managing what passed for a smile in his species. I was right, but not in the way I expected. The transformed void entities, now calling themselves the Remembered, had integrated peacefully into galactic society. Their ability to traverse space-time made them invaluable for exploration and research, while their restored creativity led to technological breakthroughs that even the precursors hadn't imagined. They served as living reminders of both the dangers of stagnation and the power of change. Earth itself had become a symbol of this new era. The planetary defense network, no longer hidden, had been reproposed into the galaxy's most advanced communications array. The underground bunkers were transformed into cultural exchange centers, where species from across the galaxy could experience humanity's legendary ability to imagine and adapt. Sometimes, Chen mused, watching a group of young aliens excitedly discussing human concepts like science fiction and what-if scenarios. The best defense isn't a weapon at all. It's the ability to see beyond conflict, to imagine something better. The precursor ship remained in Earth orbit, not as a guardian or observer, but as a student. Its ancient halls now hosted representatives from every species, all working together to combine the wisdom of the past with the innovation of the present. The ship's voice, once distant and mysterious, had gained a hint of wonder when discussing humanity's latest innovations. "We've received another message from the expedition to the Galactic core," Representative Clix announced, their crystalline form glowing with excitement. "The combined Human Council remembered team has discovered something unprecedented." The chamber filled with anticipation. These joint expeditions, unthinkable just months ago, had already revolutionized their understanding of the universe. Chen smiled, remembering how close they had come to destroying each other. Now, humanity's preparation for conflict had ironically led to the greatest peace the galaxy had ever known. The stories that had once been dismissed as primitive entertainment had become blueprints for cooperation and innovation. "You know what the truly remarkable thing is?" High Counselor Zax Thor observed, watching ships of all designs moving peacefully through space. "We spent millennia fearing change, trying to control it. You humans taught us to embrace it instead." As Chen prepared to leave the chamber for the day, her data pad displayed one final message. It was from the combined fleet's exploration vessel, now pushing the boundaries of known space. The message was simple, but it captured everything humanity had brought to the galaxy. Found something impossible. Coming back to figure out how to make it possible. She looked up through the crystalline dome at the stars above, each one now representing not a potential threat, but a new opportunity for discovery and cooperation. Earth's vicious revenge had turned out to be exactly what the galaxy needed, not destruction, but transformation, not conquest, but conversation, not the end of civilization, but its rebirth. The future was uncertain, just as it had always been, but now, for the first time, the entire galaxy was ready to face it together, armed with humanity's greatest weapon, the ability to imagine something better, and the determination to make it real.